Hey, how's
Hey,
everybody doing? Welcome to Trifecta Hour. I'm AJ. This is Ink. This is Prince. We in the building. How y'all doing on this fine Friday?
I see you have upgraded from your car. Must be nice.
I've been in my car in a minute.
Just saying. You're homeless. We know. It's okay.
Yes. Yes. Prince, you
Anyway,
good? Oh God. Anyway, moving on. So let's bring in our special guest. Our special guest today is the dynamic owner of a national advertising agency and prominent social media influencer. His passion for broadcasting began in eighth grade and led to an early career as an overnight DJ in Indianapolis. By age 20, he was the assistant program director and morning show producer for the Bob and Tom show at WFBQ in Indianapolis. After years of traveling the country and working at various stations, Tim returned to WZPL in 1995 as Creative Services Director, where he remained for 7 years. In 2001, he founded Mosaic, a full-service advertising agency in Indianapolis, where he continues to lead successfully. Tim has collaborated with high-profile clients like Peyton Manning and Justin Bieber, creating global campaigns as well as local and regional projects. His work has earned him several Indiana Broadcast Association awards and Polly's for excellence in political advertising. Despite being a gifted college dropout, Tim was a recipient of a full ride academic scholarship and attended Indiana Central, now known as University of Indianapolis, and Butler University. He has since become a significant figure in state and national politics and a vocal critic of government overreach, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic. Beyond his professional life, Tim enjoys woodworking and fishing. Please welcome, for the first time to Trifecta Hour, Tim Kramer says
Howdy,
Kramer!
howdy. It's good to be here, guys. Thanks for the invite.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for joining us and for the whole hour. It's going to be fun.
it's
All
Kramer.
right. How you
Well,
doing, man?
it's good to be here.
Amen. Hallelujah.
All
All
right.
right, let's get started with our favorite woman of the moment, Kamala Harris's team, and that extra arm of the Democrat Party known as the mainstream media are working overtime to cover up Madam VP's sketchy AG record, word salad blunders, and failed VP tasks. From the borders are to not being the borders are, being the first Indian everything to now she's just a nigga, being the only, being tough on crime, to being super liberal, to now tough on crime again,
We have
being a
feedback.
Californian, huh?
We have
Hold on,
feedback.
AJ. We have feedback.
We have feedback somewhere.
Oh, not Janet Jackson's feedback.
Continue. Keep going. Now I think it's better. Keep going.
Is that better?
I think so.
Yes.
All right. Where was I?
Sorry.
I want to read that again because that was fun.
Uh,
AG record, blah blah blah. From being the border czar to not being the border czar, being the first Indian everything to now she's a nigga, being tough on crime to super liberal to now tough on crime again, being a Californian who grew up in Canada to suddenly adopting a southern accent in Atlanta, Georgia last week. It is hard to keep up with Miss Harris's terrible attempts at being a chameleon just to gain votes. My question to the trifecta ain't, is Kamala Harris's attempts to clean up her record really that bad, or are we just delusional right wingers?
it's really that bad. Actually, it's really that bad. No, okay. Let's just be honest, for real, for real. Okay. She has no successes, right? So if we break her down from, I don't know, kindergarten till today, she has the only thing she's done successful is sleep her way to the top. The only thing she's done successful is stay connected to the right people. So the reality is no. Even in California, they're trying to play that down, right? Like, oh, there wasn't this many people. Oh, it wasn't that many. Oh, it wasn't that. But the reality is, she played a part in locking up men for little crimes, and then she played the part in keeping them there because it was cheap labor. And when asked to do things, I mean, there was a gentleman they asked to do a DNA, she denied it. We have feedback somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. And then we were, so if we're being honest, she has to do what she has to do. I mean, she can't even speak without a teleprompter or a speech being written for her. So, I mean, there's that.
Maybe that's why her and Biden got along so well.
Well, they're both
Prince.
stupid.
I would be disingenuous if I said she didn't have any successes. I mean, she's the VP and she's about to run for president. But like Ink said, there's some context and some nuance to that where she's good at staying connected to the right people, whether that's under, on top, around, behind, in front. I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I will tell you is this. I'm very good at detecting bullshit. I'm very good at when somebody is filibustering the fuck out of me. And when you ask somebody a question and they go on a 10-minute rant and you don't remember the question, I have a problem. When you're not in front of a teleprompter and it sounds like you did not go to school or you did not pay attention, I have a problem. So my thing with this is, you could call her successes because of the position she had, but what the way I measure success is the positions you were in and the places that you led better when you got in there and better afterwards. And I can say equivocally no and no. People are pissed off, people are mad at her, and people right now, the uptick she's getting is from the initial jolt of lesser of the two evils and everything else that we're going to get into. So no, I don't see any successes unless you just count that the positions that she in. But again, it's context and nuance to that.
All right. Kramer, is it really that bad, or are we just losing the
It's that bad. I mean, think of we've gone from Dementia Joe, right? A guy that they pushed onto us knowing that he had dementia. They knew it when they started. Right? I mean, this isn't something new. They didn't just find out. So yeah, it's as bad. It's worse than we think, because for the last 4 years, we don't know who's been running our government. And now they're just going to put another talking figurehead in, another Barbie, another puppet. And that's what everybody sees Kamala as. I mean, think about it. In 2020, in the primaries, she couldn't crack 3%. She couldn't get support among her party of greater than 3%. And so she dropped out before the primaries even ended. That's the person that they think is going to save this nation for the Democrat Party, is a person that they wouldn't even support 4 years ago. So yeah, it's that bad. Then we find out that Kamala, smoked pot when she was locking up men for smoking pot. She withheld evidence against people that could have freed them, which eventually did. And that's the kind of person we want in government. Somebody who's a sneak, somebody who lies and cheats and sleeps her way to the top. Now, are we looking for perfect people? No, you won't find a perfect person. But yeah, we're in trouble because she's as good as they've got right now, folks. That's it. She's as good as they've got. She's their best chance.
Oh, God. That's scary. All right.
Well, a rep, was it a rep in Pennsylvania who accidentally leaked the VP, Shapiro?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's going to be glorious. So that just fractured the Democrat Party even more, because half of them are free Palestine. Okay.
Right, exactly.
I'll leave y'all alone. All right, so now let's talk about Cammie as AG. One thing that pisses me off is her and many of the less than smart black folks attempting to cover up her blunders as AG in California. Here's Justin Truelove and his Kamala Harris story.
In 2008, I was framed for murder and wrongfully convicted by the office of Kamala Harris, sentenced 50 to life in prison. It took me 5.5 years to ultimately get back in the trial due to prosecutorial misconduct, and it took me another year to go to my second trial, to which I was vindicated by a jury of my peers. When I got convicted, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. When I got sentenced 50 to life in prison, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. When I look back and I seen her, she was smiling. And she did that stupid ass laugh that she do right now. This shit ain't funny. Someone argued she's not at fault. She didn't argue the case. Well, it was her office. 2 times that Kamala Harris showed up to my trial was when I got convicted, and also when they laid down the sentencing. She was the head of it. She overseen it. She had to. It was a murder case, right? And at the end of my paperwork, it's a stamp and seal, office of Kamala Harris. And during my appeal process, I have to go up against her again. People that's fighting against my appeal to keep the conviction is the Attorney General office. At the end of the paperwork, again, stamp and seal, the office of Kamala Harris. 4 years ago when she was running for president, I did an interview with Vice. I was very diplomatic. I didn't blame her. I didn't even ask for an apology. All I said was, I'm not necessarily saying I'm looking for an apology, but some acknowledgement from her that she could have messed up would be, of course, that'd be huge. I didn't hear nothing back. I had a ton of support. A lot of people wanted to help me tell my story, especially in Hollywood.
Okay.
All right. I mean, this was the first question that came to my head. I probably said it a little worse than this, but I definitely didn't use the word subvert. But why are so many Black people willing to subvert their social concerns for a Black politician with a D next to their name, Prince?
Because this is all we know. This is all we've been presented as. Democratic are for the colored, and Republican is mean old whitey. We're conditioned. We've been conditioned. We've seen it. We sat around dinner tables where they've said, where our family has said, whoever's a Republican candidate, I'm not voting for them, and they don't know shit about the person that's running for the Democratic Party, except they know what they look like, how they've pandered to them, what they presented to them, and how much of a cookout invite, how big is their cookout invite? It's happened since Clinton. Remember, Clinton eats McDonald's, played the saxophone on Arsenio, first Black president. It didn't take much. It didn't take anything. And I think that what's happening is we've been conditioned, and we don't know what else to do. We're still looking at, like, I got to go back to Malcolm, what he said. Oh, Megan's up there. Oh my God, LeBron James is supporting it. Oh my God, Obama's supporting her. Oh my God, all the Black people are for it, so it must be right? No. If all the Black people are breaking into the Target, is it right? No, it's not.
Fact.
So, AJ, I wish I gotta go to Keisha with this one. She always says, why are you trying to find the logical in the illogical? Why are you trying to have conversations with people who immediately going to shut you down? Like, I'm pretty sure it's people staring at this hat for the last 20 minutes trying to read it. And it says, make the hood great again. It doesn't say make America great again. It doesn't say keep America great again. AJ'sRantRoom.com, by the way. It says make the hood great again. So immediately when they clicked onto this and they saw this red hat, everything I'm saying is invalidated. I'm a coon, I'm a sellout, I'm all this stuff. And those are the people that you can sell this Indian American onto. Even though you see everything in 4K, what she has presented to you up until now, none of that matters. And there you have your answer.
So Kramer, from outside the club, what's your observation?
Well, I'll put it real bluntly. If you know the Black vote in America, Blacks voted about 98% with the Republican Party up until the 1930s. In the 1930s, Roosevelt promised the Black community a bunch of changes, never delivered on any of them. But that was the first big switch where you saw a huge section of the Black community go to Democrats. But Republicans still had the majority of the Black voting bloc up until 1968. And that's when there was an election. It was a 68. I think it was 68. It was 68. Barry Goldwater. And Barry Goldwater was running for president. And he refused to vote for affirmative action. He said that affirmative action is racist. And he explained what would happen. And the Democrats used that and said, Republicans don't want your help. They don't want you to have a voice. And so they did in 1968 what they've been doing ever since, is that they take something out of context and they push it through the media. And so I think to your point, Prince, is that it's what you know. And if your family, I mean, my family they weren't really political, but I knew my dad was conservative. He was a minister. So I think that the reason that the black community has done this is because it's human nature. You get promised something, and whether they deliver or not, you want to believe in the promise. I mean, for example, look what happened in 2020. What was the big promise? We're going to pay off all your student debt. Didn't happen. Some people got lucky, right? But the majority of people didn't. And that's what I think happens. I think they get tricked time and time again, and they forget they've got a goldfish's memory. And by the way, this is both sides. This is all people, not just black people. But we've got a goldfish memory about what they just did to us. And we forget about it, move on, and we're looking at the new emergency, the new thing, right? Everybody's talking now about Trump being shot. That's the new distraction. I'm still talking about 2020 not being right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. I think it's heritage. I think it's legacy. And then the big thing I think is that they want to believe the promise. And I think that what's happened in the last 4 years in particular is the black community has seen Obama didn't do anything for the black community.
Nope.
He did for the alphabet crew, right? If you've got a bunch of letters in your acronym, he helped you out, but he didn't do anything for the black community.
Yep.
He did more for the military industrial complex. He dropped more bombs than any other president in U.S. history. Even during wartime, Obama dropped more bombs than any other president. He did more destruction, but they don't want to remember that. They want to remember this image. And that's what Democrats are very, very, very good at, is defining an image, creating an image. And then look what they're doing with Kamala. Kamala can't walk and talk any better than Joe Biden can. And they're touting her as the savior of the Democrat Party. Suddenly she's a genius.
Right.
Yeah. That part.
So I mean, to my thinking is that the black community has turned around in the last 4 years. I think there's been a great awakening, and I think that that's why the Democrats are pushing so fucking hard for the illegal immigrants coming across the border to build a new base they can start with. The problem is that this is what the Democrats don't understand, because they're not a religious group. The majority of illegals, now I'm talking about South American, I'm not talking about from the rest of the planet, but South American are conservative Catholics.
Yeah.
Screwing themselves. So I think that, if the black community wakes up, I think that what we're going to see in this election, if the numbers are correct, we're going to see a huge jump from the Democrat Party to Republican Party, in particular voting for Trump. Maybe not down ticket, but for Trump, I think that the black community is turning around and seeing that these promises that don't get delivered, it's not worth your vote.
Right.
Or as Trump said back in 2020, or 2016, what do you have to lose?
What the hell have you got to lose?
That part. All right. Well, we're not even getting promises. Let's keep it a buck. They're not even having to promise us anything. Let's be honest. They just simply have to show up and show out and tell us that the white man is bad and that he's racist, and they want to take away all your rights. So your human rights, they're going to send us back. They're going to, I don't know, put you back in the cotton field. I don't know how that's going to happen, but okay. So it's always fear. And I don't understand why we as a community still exist in a fear. I will say this. I don't think as many of us are as dumb as maybe they like to think we are or believe that we are. I know that New York and Chicago, especially, they have said if the black community is telling you that they're not doing anything for us, that the black community is telling you that, they're letting these illegals take over, you might want to listen to us. So from what I hear, basically just, around, and you hear these black people, it's really about Trump. So this election is really driven on Trump and him being quote unquote racist. And that is why they're working really, really hard at tainting his character and tainting his image. I always find it interesting when black people stand up and say he's a felon. Oh, is that right? Funny how that works, right? He's a felon. So, Uncle Leroy's a felon too, but that doesn't stop him from coming to Christmas.
Right.
So, I mean, there's that. So, no, I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. So I think as a community, we are afraid, we're afraid to be different. That's why they attack us so heavily. the melanated that don't think like them. That's why we get attacked so heavily. That's why they're like, oh, you're not black. Oh, you hate yourself. Oh, you're this, you're that. And the third, and then they always say you're voting against your best interest, right? But we have to remind people what our interest is. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you look at the amount of money that's being spent on these immigrants, if you look at the amount of money that they're receiving, if you look at the way they're taking care of them, they're not doing that for anybody here. So my best interest is this, to take care of what is ours. If I'm going to go to work every day, I'm going to pay taxes. If I'm going to contribute, then guess what? I don't give a fuck about you on the outside. Okay. I do not care. All right. So the Ukrainians come here, and guess what? They got this whole thing for you guys. It's like they got this little program set up, and you get to have all this money and all these types of things. And they don't have the same things for us. And then what they do is they throw a little money at you. So everybody talks about what they did for the veterans, right? Well, I broke that down today. They didn't do really anything for you guys. So if you really dig into the policies, if you really dig into the meat and the potatoes of what's really going on, you will see that there's not really anything happening. And what they do is very limited. It's very controlled. So as a community, as Black people, instead of worrying about what somebody's doing for the Blacks, why don't you worry about what's going on for us as whole, as Americans? If you approached it that way, you would thrive better. You would be more successful if you just approached it in the sense of like, what are they doing for Americans? I'm going to tell you guys right now, and this goes out to all the liberals and the Democrats that believe the bullshit. Roe v. Wade is done. Nothing they do is going to change it. Nothing they do is going to bring it back. Prince, we hear you typing. Whoever's typing, I hear you typing. So that's over. So don't let them lie to you. When they say that when they get into office, shut up. When they get into office that they're going to fix it, not going to happen. It's done. Be very clear. So I think as a community, as people, as Americans, just in general, really look at what they're telling you. The Democrats lie. You guys is mad at Trump, but let me tell you what Trump does. He is brutally honest.
Yeah.
He's honest. He just tells you like it is. I mean, you may not like it and you may not like the delivery of it, but he's so honest in what he says. And generally, if he's not fought, what he says, he delivers. If he says he's going to do it, he does it. And I'm telling you right now, I can't wait for him to get these bastards up out of here. I cannot wait for the largest deportation to get up out of here. See you when we see you.
Mental slavery. That's all I got. I mean, and it is exhausting. It's harder to break mental shackles than it is to break physical ones, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my God. Like, do you not every 4 years y'all gonna fall for this? Every 4 years y'all gonna fall for this. You had the Black Jesus, right? The great Black hope. Barack Obama got in, right? Oh, hope and change. Yes, we can. Blah blah blah. First of all, nobody checked the credentials. This motherfucker wasn't even a foundational Black American. Nobody peeped that, right? Until it was like 8 years was gone, and he became a multimillionaire and bought his house on the ocean and was living a great life with Michelle. Whatever, we're not going to talk about that. So I'm confused. This is literally Obama 2.0. What is the rush to be the first anything at this point? What is the rush? And honestly, my opinion, the first truly foundational Black American president is going to be a Republican. Why? Because Democrats don't want you, because they know if they put one of these radical Black Cory Bush type people in there, you're going to get your reparations, and they know they ain't going to get it. They're going to do their best to try to get you that money. You see, Kamala already said she ain't getting you no money, and y'all still backing her, right? She already told y'all. She told y'all in the interview, and then you're going to ask her. Now she might peep a little something. She might tell you. She's going to twist the words just enough from her writers to make you feel like she's going to do something, and she's going to do the same thing that Sheila Jackson Lee did, was start a committee, do all this performative theater, cotton, and then nothing. The committee hasn't met since 2019. Unfortunately, she passed away this year, but she did nothing. Essentially, it was just a vanity badge to get y'all riled up to vote for Joe Biden. Y'all did it again. You're gonna do it again, and I'm gonna laugh in your face when you're complaining that you ain't got no jobs and you can't get any social programs because they gave it to a bunch of people who don't even know what the hell the Constitution says, let alone our national anthem or anything like that.
Yep.
But go ahead. But I do think it's slowly chipping. But I think when you sell racism and emotionalism, it is very hard to get away from that. And I got it. Mm-hmm. But people, we got to see through the bullshit. We got to see through the bullshit. Stop justifying this woman's record Stop pulling up these bills that you haven't researched. You don't know how, if they've been effective, what the vote was, and if it did pass, did it affect your community in any way? You don't know any of these things, but you just talk, because you need to explain and justify why you're supporting someone you know nothing about. First of all, Donald Trump had to earn my vote for a third time. It wasn't just, oh, Donald Trump's running. Oh, great, give it to him. No, I wanted to hear what all the Republicans had to say. They were all talking about a bunch of nothing. A lot of them sound like the establishment. I don't want the establishment. So therefore, okay, cool, Trump, what are we talking about? Ron DeSantis was a little close, but for the most part, no, I'm bored. And this is business as usual. I don't think you're gonna get 80. You ain't getting no 81 million because ain't no paper ballots. I mean no mail-in ballots this time. Not as many, but we'll pull it off. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the National Black Journalists Conference, but I didn't give you the video. So
it's okay. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock, I believe it was Wednesday. Donald Trump, got the invite from the National Black Journalists Conference, and Kamala Harris got it too. She said no, because she wanted to do it remote, and they was like, "Nah, we don't want that. We want you to actually show up." Donald Trump was like, "Oh, I'll be there." Walked into the Lions Den, sat there, waited for black people, sat there. These are the professional black. This is the side of decorum, right? Y'all can't be on time for a sitting president, for a former sitting president. Come on, whether you like him or not, you are never 30 minutes late for a president. If Barack Obama was sitting his black ass in that chair, I was there 15 minutes early, ready to go.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. President. How are you? But I'm not gonna be late. I'm not gonna be unprofessional. And then you out the gate come for this man's neck. Now, Donald Trump being the New Yorker that he is, as a New Yorker, we know that. You come for our neck, we're going to tear you to pieces. And what did he do? He tore to pieces. And if you heard the audio, like from the camera phones in the audience, the black folks in there was like happy about it. They were excited that Trump lit her ass up and was not diplomatic. Well, I'm just going to, no, it's not his style, first of all. And he's going to push right back and he's going to tell you you're being nasty and rude. First of all, you made me wait 35 minutes. And the sound is bad.
It's terrible.
Can this get any more ghetto? Bad sound, and you're late. Then you sit down, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is not, "Thank you for coming, Mr. President. Appreciate you." Because you could be anywhere in the world right now. You chose to come here and talk to our raggedy black asses. No! We get... Yeah, so you said this, and you said this, and you said this, and you did this, and black people are feelings. No policy talk, because we're so busy trying to make this man to be a racist. Trust me, I know racists.
Yeah.
He ain't one of them.
Yep.
Been black all my days. I've met some racist people. He don't qualify. Anyway, Prince.
AJ. I mean, what you
don't have a question.
Look, there's so much I could say right now. There's so much I could say right now.
Listen. Okay. It's so much to unpack with that whole conference. And the one thing that I saw where the one thing I would admit about my community, AJ Inc., you can attest to this, we don't tolerate disrespect. So when Trump went back at her, the cheers you heard was like, "Oh shit! Oh, you gonna take that? I guess he's not gonna take that." Well, let's go.
Right.
We grew up on Springer. We grew up on Geraldo. We grew up on Jenny. We grew up on Ricky Lake. We grew up on all of that. You ain't gonna just let's go.
Right.
So she was asked a question. Then he went back at her. But what bothered me about that is, you got a whole association that is looking to get credibility and shine light on what they've been doing. And this is your perfect opportunity to say, hey, we got the next best and brightest coming out of here that's going to replace the Don Lemons, replace the people on Fox News, replace the people on CNN. These are the people that you can elevate. Baby girl, as AOC would say. What you did was you impressed the sassy blacks, But the people that sign the checks and really looking for the next big thing,
Yep.
they're going to be like, nah, you're a loose cannon. Number one, you were late, you were unprofessional. And guess what? If Trump does get into office, hey, Trump, can you come speak to on whatever the firm? Sure. Wait a minute. Is it the girl working at that? I'm not doing it.
Yep.
And nobody from my cabinet is doing it. And anybody that does business with you, they're going to answer to me. See what you just did? You made yourself a liability. But thank God for Harris Faulkner. Thank God for some professionalism that was there. Because at the end of the day, Harris Faulkner, too, has interviewed both Democrats and Republicans, and she remained professional at all times. What you did was, bite your nose, spite your face. That's exactly what you did. So congratulations. You went viral and you got all the touching people behind you. But when it really counts, you're going to be doing a podcast just like me every Thursday at 11 a.m. hoping that somebody shows up and listen.
All right, Prince. Let the black lady speak. So let me just say this.
Did
let
you
me
take
just say
a
this.
gender test?
No, I didn't. But anyways,
You know what?
yeah, it's Andrea and Robert. So anyways, I'm just gonna say this really quickly. What is very frustrating for me, and this is really my biggest takeaway, is the fact that she attacked him. And then when he responded, everyone said this white man is attacking a black woman. How dare he speak to her that way? Let me tell you something, you black bitches. If you do not stop, okay, speaking out the side of your neck and thinking that you're entitled to respect, that anyone you talk crazy to should respect you, you're dumb. Okay? You're dumb. You don't get to come out here. You don't get to sit pretty. You don't get to look cute and then get disrespectful. Let me remind you who you're speaking to. You are speaking to the 45th president. That's who you're talking to. Okay, you're not talking to the idiot down the street that owns the restaurant or the corner store or the apartment building. No. You're talking to the 45th president. I don't give a damn if you like him or you don't. I do not care if you agree with anything that leaves his mouth. What you do is you sit there and you represent us as a people. So then you look at that man and you say, hey, the GOP has put you up and you're running for president. This is what I need to know, because I'm representing my people right now. I got the opportunity to talk to the 45th president and the president that's currently running. Let me ask you some questions about us as a people as a whole. What are you going to do, right? No, instead you chose to be emotional. This is why I say women can't run nothing. Okay. This is why I say that women need to stay in a place. Okay. I don't care what nobody thinks. If you took this opportunity, okay, he did not have to come. The woman that you guys, all you black women, came on a Zoom call, raised these millions of dollars for her. Okay. Let's remind you, in hours, she didn't have enough respect for none of you to even show up.
Yep.
She didn't have enough respect for any of you black people to bring her quote unquote black ass down there and show up. Okay. No, she didn't do that. Oh, and then it gets better. She says she'll do it via Zoom. She's still not going to enter the building. But Donald Trump came. Not only did Donald Trump come, he knew that you didn't like him. He knew that you guys were upset. He knew that he was not wanted, but he still showed up. Not only did he show up, he sat there for 35 minutes while you were late. You disrespected the former president of the United States on every level that you could possibly disrespect him, and you think that you earned some accolade or some kudos? This is what's wrong with us as a community. This is why we don't get nowhere. This is why people don't take us seriously. Because the moment that you had the opportunity to shine, the moment that you had the opportunity to say, hey, let me ask these questions for my community. Let me see what's going on. Let me ask some really hard-hitting questions. You took that time to be emotional and getting your feelings. You took that time to be disrespectful. So you know what I say? He can disrespect you on every level in which he wants to. Okay? You gave him no respect. And then when that interview was over, you didn't shake his hand. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Wow.
Who do you think you are?
Wow.
I will never stand behind that type of disrespect. I will never support that, because we as a people need to do better. We need to rise above it. We need to take advantage of every single opportunity presented to us. Every single one. And you chose to be an idiot. And all the people who are clapping their hands and rah, rah, rah and cheering you on, they're just as ignorant as you are. They're just as ignorant as you are. I don't know who raised you. I don't know what wilderness in which you drifted out of and put your good wig on and slapped some lipstick on. But let me tell you something. What you did was not impressive. What you did was not representative of any intelligent Black woman, any Black woman who wants to be more than what she is. My daughter, if she ever behaved the way that you did, I would have snatched her off that stage and said, what are you doing right now?
Yep.
What is going on right now? I'm super frustrated and I'm super angry because people are saying he disrespected a Black woman. No, she disrespected the 45th president of the United States. And there's very few people who get the opportunity to sit down with a president and have a conversation. There's very few people who get to sit down with the president and ask them questions. And you chose to be ignorant. So whatever comes from this is what you get. I do not care.
Amen. Kramer?
Well, what I thought was interesting about the entire thing, to what Keisha said, is how the interviewer started as the aggressor and then played the victim. Well, that's what Democrats do. That's their whole shtick, is they attack. And the moment that you say anything or react or push back, oh my gosh, I was just joking. Why are you so serious? We're just joking. Why? And you saw it when you were a kid in school, right? The bully would do the exact same thing to you. The difference between their bullies and Trump, who's also a bully. I mean, he's a bully. You don't get to where he is without being a bully. He's just a bully with a heart. What I thought was hilarious is my whole takeaway. By the way, Trump going there, to your point, Keisha, he has nothing to lose going there. He has everything to gain.
Yep.
And he knows what they're going to say about him. And that's the genius of Trump. He knows what they're going to say. He doesn't care. And that's what drives him crazy, because he's a bully that doesn't play by their rules. See, their rules is that when you get attacked, then you fall back a little bit and you play the victim for a bit and then you attack again. Trump just never stops attacking. So when the lady turned her head, he grabbed her water bottle and tightened the lid on her water bottle, because he's a bully. That's what he does. He never stops. And what they didn't realize, and this is what they think the American people are stupid, is we like those guys. We like the funny guy that will stand up and do the right thing and say the wrong thing but have a heart of gold. That's who we want. That's who we idolize as Americans. And the Democrats don't understand that, and they don't see that that Trump is being transformed from a billionaire TV star, former president, into an icon, because other countries around the planet are now begging for Trump to be elected.
Yep.
They see the difference. So what I saw at this convention was some people who wanted to prove that they were the tough guy, that they had what it takes to stand up to Trump, and they pulled what they pulled. And I'm glad that I'm glad that the right has finally starting to, especially the base, is starting to realize bad publicity ain't bad publicity. I don't know what people, I'm in advertising and marketing, right? Just spell my name right. I don't care what the fuck you say about me. Just get my goddamn name right. And that's what they don't get. That's what Trump understands. Trump will walk into the lion's den, take on the lions, call them names, give them a nickname, and then walk out. And while they're all busy, he just did what Joe Rogan, what Trump is genius at, is what Rogan calls post and ghost. That's what I do with my content. I don't go back and read the comments.
Yeah.
Right? I put the stick in the mud, I stir it up real good, and then I go fish. I don't care what people have to say. I said my part. Well, that's what Trump does, and they don't like that. And there's no way they can battle it. So what do? They just call names. Mm-hmm. Right? They call us names continually. It's all, you're a racist, you're a xenophobe, you're a transphobe, you're some kind of hater. You've got hate in your heart all the time. What they don't tell you, as they're calling us names, is that, well, I'm going to raise your taxes. That's what Kamala Harris just said. If you just heard her a few weeks ago, if she had the authority to do it, she would raise the corporate tax from 21% to 35%.
Jeez.
Dumb.
Biden wants to take it to 28. She wants to pump it up another 7 more.
Dumb.
And so these are the things that when you look at what happened on that stage, people are more upset. And this tells you how screwed up our nation is right now. People are more invested and upset about what Trump did than what Kamala is saying she's going to do.
That part.
She's telling you up front. And I've said this, Keisha and I've had this conversation a lot of times, or many times, is that these people, I got to put this the right way. Well, they've never left the slave mentality. They have never left. Democrats have never left the plantation mentality. Yep. And what I mean by that is, and I don't mean this as a racist thing. I'm talking about as a slaveholder thing, right? They believe that they have the right to your income. Kamala thinks that she has the right to 35% of a corporation's profits.
Yep.
That's slavery, folks. We were just talking about it the other day. Is that you get a job as a kid, you work your entire life, you buy a home, you retire with enough money to be able to live there comfortably. You never have to work again. And regardless of how hard you try, you will always be a tenant to your state.
Yep.
Or to the federal government. Yep. They're always going to ding you for something. They're going to hit you every time they can. For example, we're probably going to get, I'm personally probably going to get an IRS audit because I haven't worked in the last 4 years. I've made a lot of money. So I've been able to rest on my laurels for the last 4 years because I said, I'm not going to go out there and work my ass off when they just come and take it from us. And then here I am. Kamala is likely to win this election. Keisha and I've had this conversation. I don't think there's going to be an election.
I was waiting for him to say that.
I don't think there's going to be one. Somebody else asked in the comments the same thing. I don't see how we either have rigged elections or we don't have elections. Because Democrats can't win on this. And that's what that showed at that convention. They're desperate. They got to muddy this guy up any way they can. So they got to call him names. You know, what was it just a few weeks ago? He said black jobs during the debate. That was the big thing. Like, there's no such thing as a black job. I mean, it's not a racial thing. They start trying to do this. It's the same thing as Kamala wasn't. Kamala was never the border czar. He never made her the border czar. That was never. You guys are crazy. That never happened. The gaslighting that goes on, and that was just one more example of it. I think that the American people are starting to see it, and it's a reality show, and we see it for what it is. And I think it's time that they get serious about their country.
Yes,
because we're getting to the end of this. No nation has survived longer than 250 years as an empire.
Ooh.
We're 248 years, folks.
Okay. Can we mute Kramer? Because I'm not.
I bring you down. Well, the whole thing is my wife said. My wife used to say that I'm negative, that I'm a dark cloud, I'm a dark pill. I go, no, I'm stating fact. I'm telling you what they're going to do. I'm not doing it. I'm telling you what they say they're going to do. And this is going to be the outcome of it, because it's never worked whenever it's been tried. No matter where they've tried what they're doing right now, it never works, ever.
Yeah. Okay.
So they want to have their convention. They want to put Trump up there. They want to make fun of him. They want to get their content so they can push out stuff out of context. And I thought Trump grabbing that bottle of water, I thought that was genius. He just showed exactly who he is. He's exactly who I thought he was.
Okay.
All right.
He's a bully.
All right.
And we will be right back. Now it's time for our trending topic.
Everybody is right now paying attention to this controversy in women's boxing around Aman Khalif from Algeria. Video circulating of her knocking out an Italian fighter in 47 seconds, and statements from a boxing organization that indicated she was banned from competition for sex testing that indicated an abnormality that might suggest that she's not a woman. To be very clear, this is not a situation of a trans athlete. This organization is no longer part of the Olympics. In fact, it was kicked out of the Olympics over the fact that this IBA boxing organization is essentially run by the Russian government. The National Olympic Organization of Algeria has denied this. They say that she's a woman on her passport. She's a biological woman, and that these are all baseless attacks. The IOC is adamant that she's eligible to compete and that she is a woman. And here's what they say about it.
This is a minefield. And unfortunately, as with all minefields, we want a simple explanation. Everyone wants a black and white explanation of how we can determine this. That explanation does not exist, neither in the scientific community nor anywhere else. As I've said before, if we can find a consensus, and we will work towards a consensus, we will certainly work to apply that. Clearly, that's not going to happen at these games.
Hey, thanks for watching.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely a minefield.
Wow.
But it, of course, my mind starts working. So men, we're not put up to these gender tests. We if we want to compete and we're apps, we can go compete and try to get a spot on the team or whatever. But women, on the other hand, I didn't know about this until today. That these women who are an anomaly, they have to go through gender tests and have to take testosterone blockers to
Yeah.
prevent their body from doing what it naturally does. So my question is, if men don't have to do it, should women have to do it? Blockers, gender tests, Kramer.
No, I think we should just stop all of this idiocy altogether and say men are men and women are women. That's it. But they don't have the courage to do that. That's the problem. They're in this club to where if you don't agree with each other, if everybody doesn't agree, you kick each other out. That's part of the game that they play. It's a mean girl thing. Again, a lot of what I see today happening on the world stage and with this idiocy is it reminds me of a 4-year-old's tea party and the rules that they make. If you ever played tea party with a 4-year-old girl, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Is that they make up rules on the fly. They tell you things that aren't true, and that's what we're seeing happen here. Is the same exact thing, and so no, I don't think that there's any easy answer other than getting back to objective truth. And objective truth is there's men and women.
Yeah.
That's it. And you can pretend all you want. That's fine, but you're not a woman.
But she was born a woman. So if
I thought she
you're
was
born-
intersex.
Yeah, she's got XY chromosomes. The thing that I look at is what do you got in your pants? At the end of the day, because that if you've got a ding-a-ling down there, then that means you're pushing testosterone. And if you're pushing testosterone like that, then you're a dude. And if you're a dude, you can't compete with women. Now, they want to use these outliers as the excuses, but that's what got us to day of birth abortions.
Yeah.
Right? Is this the slippery slope? He just kept creeping up. And so what you saw, I think it was out in California, there was a biking race. And the biking race, all three were trans athletes that won. It was all men that won. In a women's category, all men won. First, second, third.
Wow. All right. Okay.
Well, Prince, as someone with a daughter, would you demand
Here we
that
go.
a woman who happened to be born with something she had no control over have to be subjected to test and testosterone blockers?
I tell you what the fuck I demand. I demand one of these gender studies graduates to get their asses on this post and explain this. This is what the fuck you went to school for, right? Where are all the gender studies people who graduated with a degree? Where are the people that you went to school, you spent $80,000 for a gender studies degree? Why aren't you on Twitter? Why aren't you on social media breaking it down to me? This is the shit that pisses me off, because it's like now all of a sudden everybody's expert on chromosomes. No, but we can only go by what we read and what we've been knowing since we've been kids. Dang vagina. What happened right here was when we, for those in the TikTok world, whenever we have these arguments, that one person come in and they be like, what about intersex? And then we yell at them. We say, you want to use the most obscure example to make your point. Well, Olympics, meet obscure example. Figure this shit out. And what you did was, this is where Kramer is good at what he does. What did the media do? They put that word transgender in there, and then everybody ran with it. So if you spoke out against it, you said protect our daughters, you were called a transphobic because of the information which you was given. But come to find out, it wasn't a trans issue. It was a fucking God, please forgive me. Send back to sender. Something's wrong. Like, I don't know if God was like, Joseph, you handle this one. I got to go use the bathroom. And then he pushed that athlete out, and now we're all confused. God, please forgive me. You don't make mistakes, but maybe you went to the bathroom on this one.
Oh my God.
And
Mute.
Joseph wanted to get in your good graces. He created this.
He was an assistant. An assistant did it.
I'm just going to say this. If you know you have a child with these type of abnormalities, you're going to have that hard conversation to, baby, it's going to be ugly. I'm going to try to get you in sports, but if they subject you to whatever, it is what it is.
Okay, Mom.
Right. Shave your beard, put it on your skirt, and go play tennis.
Listen. Here's my problem. Okay. If you got blocked the first time because your chromosomes was off, your testosterone was high, I don't believe nothing you're talking about right now. Because what we do know in this world is that people will doctor anything to get what they want. Okay. And I struggle because even the toughest woman, trained, strong, physically, right, it's not hitting like no man. Okay. So there's something not adding up here. I don't know if we're getting the pushback because everybody was running with the trans thing. You know, everybody was like, oh, this person is trans. Oh, this person shouldn't be here. So this was their way of protecting that, you know, so that like the trans community didn't get any kickback or pushback. And you know what? My driver's license says I weigh 120 pounds, but that's not true. So, so just because your passport says something, just because, you know, I mean, we lie. I mean, we tell a story. I mean, I know people who say they 5'9", they really 5'5". You know, it's things like that.
6'6".
Yeah. Okay. So it's things like that. You know, people lie about their height and they weight and things like that. So
well, they're not just lying about his height; they're lying about him who it is. That was a different dude.
Yeah. Well, the reality is they're telling us that it's a female, that the person was born this way, their birth certificate, their passport, they identify whatever that is. So all I have to say is this. Okay. If your blood work come back and it says that your chromosomes are male, if your blood work come back and it says your testosterone is high, chances are you're not a girl.
Yep.
Okay. But I don't know that to be fact. You know what? I can't even say what's in your pants anymore because now they cutting and tucking. So I can't even go there anymore. So I'm just going to say this. I don't believe it. Okay. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just don't believe it, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Go ahead, AJ.
All right. And for the sake of time, we will be right back.
Summer is here. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered.
From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to ajsrentroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed.
All right, it's time to
Petty.
get petty. Forgive me, Whitney couldn't hit the note every night.
All right, real quick. I'm gonna keep it short. My petty goes out to all you raggedy ass liberals. I'm just gonna stay on your neck right now. You're liars, you're manipulators, you're gaslighters, and you're stupid. Okay? You lack the ability to think for yourself. You lack the ability to do critical thinking. You lack the ability to do due diligence. All you know is to repeat what you heard. You're like a little parrot. So if they say it, you repeat it because you're dumb. Okay? You're stupid. So I'm going to let you know right now that nothing you say is going to change it. Oh, and to that lily white bitch that made that video talking about, oh, can you Republican conservative women, you MAGA supporters who are voting for Trump and have conservative husbands, can you guys first divorce them? And then can you guys tell me why you would do that? Yeah, you stupid bitch. You. I'm talking to you. I wish I had your screen name right now. I put you on blast. I just want to let you know that it's very difficult to be a Trump supporter in this time. Okay. So if a woman is coming out with her whole chest talking about I'm voting for Trump, we're not weak. You're the weak one because you go with the grain. Oh, that's right. You're voting to protect the rights that you don't even have. Keep forgetting. It just keeps slipping my mind. So anyways, with that being said, fuck you liberals. I'm done.
All right. So I'll be quick. I have two quick ones. My first one is to Apple.
Oh,
You raggedy bitch. So I'm doing my show notes. Took me, it takes an hour yesterday, 2 hours today. Get the notes done, send it to the crew, these two, and it just vanishes. 3 hours work gone. Mind you, I'm traveling today, so everything's crazy, and the schedule is super tight, and ain't got no time for this.
How
So I had
tight
to
is it?
retype. Had to type. Shut up.
It's so tight.
obviously not tight enough.
Anyway, so
It can never be tight enough.
I scraped something together, and we hope we did right by you today. But anyway, my second one is the Kyle Rittenhouse. You raggedy bitch.
Ooh.
You fake crying on the stand. We stood by your raggedy ass. You gonna open your mouth up yesterday talking about, oh, I'm voting for Rand Paul because Donald Trump, he's not very strong on the Second Amendment. Then Trump's team called you, got your ass together, said, we wrote your motherfucking check, and we got your motherfucking ass off. You gonna
Ooh.
vote for Trump. Even if you not, nigga, you gonna get your fucking ass on Instagram, and you gonna say you vote for him.
Oh.
And here come Kyle Rittenhouse. I thought about it. Now that I thought about it, I'm gonna be voting for Donald Trump. Shut up, Kyle Rittenhouse. You know damn well you wasn't gonna vote for no damn Ron Paul. You don't even know what the hell you vote for at this point. You better be grateful your ass is free. We want to fake crying. And he looked over to the judge like, bitch, get me out of this. We saw it.
Okay, who's next?
My petty is to the people. Let me set the scene. There was a video came out where there was a black guy with a lazy eye talking about he's a stay-at-home dad, and he's a stay-at-home dad because his wives make all the money. And then they to the shot to his wife. It was two big fat ass mid-white women. And then I typed in the comments. I said, "Hey, it didn't make sense until I saw his wife." And that must have set everybody off because it got 20,000 likes. And then I got people saying, you can't make that type of comment looking at your wife. And then I go to your page and then it's private and no post. But you got all these accolades in your post. Let me tell you something. There has not been one day that I have posted my wife and anybody has said anything about her. But this guy who posted shit about his wife, there's thousands of comments saying that they're mid, fat, and ugly. So there you go.
Okay.
The day you think you can come for my wife, the day you get a call at 3 a.m. on a crime scene during an ADW from your mother that says, "Can I talk to you?" When you gonna marry this woman because you ain't gonna get no better than her. She's perfect. Then you could come talk to me. All right? So my petty is all you people that think you could come for my black queen.
That's right.
You can kiss every part of my black ass after a hard weightlifting session. After Taco Bell. How about that?
All right.
Kramer.
TMI.
Well, if you want to be petty, Kramer, you can be petty, but make it quick.
I'm going to be petty. Use your goddamn turn signals. Use your turn signals, whether you're turning left or right, and do it 100 feet, maybe 200 feet away from where you're going to turn. Not brake. Turn your turn signal on and turn. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Use your turn signals. That's my.
Oh my God.
I bet you she was Oriental.
Oh, okay.
I used to have an Asian guy that worked for me, and
No.
he told me he goes. Do you know how to blind an Asian driver? And I said, "How's that?" He goes, "You put a windshield in front of him."
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
AJ, we'll be right back.
Kramer,
We'll be right
go.
back.
Trifecta Hour, please hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell. Woo! You can also follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And if you really want to make us smile, you can subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Oh my God.
All right, now it's time for our memes of the week.
All right, I was gone last week. Now I'm back. That's right. You hit that button, girl.
Shut up.
Listen up. This is the perfect meme. Men, women, Transformers. Listen.
I didn't even realize.
I don't know anymore. If a woman's standing up next to me in the urinal, so be it. Just keep eyes forward, no small talk. Wash your hands and leave the bathroom. Wash your hands, pull up your knickers, and get out.
Oh my God.
Next meme.
Oh my God. What is
Listen,
happening?
Oh my God.
here she is, the Bronx bomber herself. I won that women's boxing match fair and square, and if you don't like it, you can suck my cock. She ain't lying.
Oh my God.
Is she accurate? We don't know, but we gonna take her word for it.
Oh my God.
Next meme.
Oh my God.
This is how we feel right now with some of you liberals. 1 + 1 is 2. Do you have any peer-reviewed studies that can back that? Yes, bitch. It's called math. It's called my kindergarten teacher, Miss McClintock, from Grant Elementary School. She said 1 + 1 is 2. Now, if you want to ask her, dig her up. Next meme.
This is fucking.
This represents our U.S. presidents. Cracker, Oreo, Cheeto, then broccoli. I don't make the rule.
Wait a minute. Okay,
What?
I'm confused. What the fuck does a broccoli represent?
Biden.
Oh, got it. I'm back.
Okay, we're moving on. This
one's for AJ.
Oh
Eating
my
a
God.
brown part of banana. Ew. Eating ass. Yum. Get your handkerchief out. Let's go to town.
I'm done. We're moving.
I am so hungry.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This for all you people that have tenants. If they say my pronouns are they, them, charge them double. Because it's only one person that signed the lease. You got extra people living here?
Oh my God.
I'm charging you extra.
I can't. I can't.
It's the American way.
Oh,
Listen.
Love it. Says everything it needs to say.
For those that's listening to the verbal, the audio version, you have to see this meme.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
you can. Yes,
Oh
we
my God.
can. Yes, they can. Hop to a 2024.
Is she blowing
Oh
toys, man?
God, we're done.
Oh my God. Oh my
We're
God.
done.
Those are the memes of the
Okay.
week.
All right.
Oh my God. Now it's time for our Urban Dictionary word of the day.
Whoo. Okay, let's keep it quick. I just want to let you guys know,
That's what she
dictator.
said.
Shut up, dictator. Okay. So everybody keeps calling Trump the dictator, but let me just let you know what it really is. Okay, it's a ruler with total power over the country, typically one who has obtained control by force. So I want you guys to remember that when you didn't get to vote for your person. Okay, I want you guys to remember that when they pick the person for you. I want you guys to remember that when they say this is the person and this person got all the things that this person needs to be here. I want you guys to remember that. So the next time they tell you, oh, the government shouldn't be involved, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to give you this. Oh, the government shouldn't be involved, but you know what? We're going to do this. Always remember, listen to the words that they tell you, you dummies. Dictator. Let's go.
Woo. All right. I'm surprised we are only 7 minutes over. That's shocking to me that we're only 7 minutes over. But because we all could gab, we all got it,
Yeah.
And so, but thank you so much, Kramer, for coming
Yes.
through.
Thanks for the
We
invite.
appreciate you so much. Thanks for spending an hour of your day with us, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. And we will catch you next week. Episode 61 is loaded.
Keisha 6'3"